Hello and welcome back to another player profile series. We're trying to break down what these fantasy players
We've
are.
already had our second bet as of the last video, and if you didn't see, that was quite a heated one, quite an interesting one. Please go check it out.
Yeah, the Lev Bell one. Yeah.
Lev Bell, fascinating conversation, and we're back again with another one of Al's player profile. He's putting me under the cosh, and we really are starting to see some interesting things developing. So what have you chosen for today?
I want to get your opinion on this player. He's a top 50 player, so we're talking start of the fifth round in a 12-team league.
Yeah. So top pick.
I think it's his third year in the league.
Mm-hmm.
His situation's improved, whether his team has or not. We're talking Chris Godwin of Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going 50 overall. I mean, you like a lot of these sort of second and third year wide receivers that could take a step forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit of a fantasy darling. That's why he's moved. It's why he's moved up. He's moved up the draft boards a lot. I mean, unfortunately, the problem I have with him is fairly simple. He's moved up so far. Where his value was about a month and a half ago was like 5 rounds lower down than that. And that was okay. You know, that was great. But everybody's now caught up, and now the value is so high, I'm not touching him at 50.
Wide receiver 21.
Yeah, I'm not touching him. Sorry, it's too high. It's far too high. I mean, in some of these big leagues, that's round 5, beginning of round 5 territory. Oh, sorry, round 4 territory, 48 pick onwards. I mean, no, I'm not taking him.
Why don't you like him then?
Because he has to return to guarantee the value. He has to return 140 fantasy points in a San Francisco offense with the quarterback. Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense.
Godwin not good
with Jameis Winston, who really locks onto his primary receiver, which is Mike Evans, with a running game that's in at best flux. We'll say that. I'm really unsure.
Well, Rojo.
Yeah, unsure what we're going to get out of that lot. I can see that there's some value, but that value at that
can
point,
he take a step forward though? Someone's got him.
That's a huge step forward. I mean,
someone's got him as high as 29.
140 fantasy points for it to break to get you even. Straight away, you've got to get at least 1,000 yards, and you've got to get 6 touchdowns, and that's not simple in that offense. It's just not simple to do. I mean, yes, it's possible, but that's where we talk about shoot for safety. I mean, he's not. It's not like I've got something to measure him off where I can say, yeah, he's done it for 3 or 4 years in a row, and I'm going, yeah, you know what, that's what it'll give me.
We got no Desean Jackson there.
Yeah.
So, that obviously there's a lot of targets going there.
Got an improved tight end, though, that could take...
I like OJ.
Yeah, could take a lot of targets this year, I think, with Mike. I mean, Godwin is going to have to run a lot of stuff underneath to allow Mike to do what he does best. I think he can do that, but...
I mean, Bruce Arians came out, we're talking pre-season now, we're in, June, July time, and he actually said he's not going to take Godwin off the field, he's that good.
But there's a lot of coach speak at this time of year. I mean, you have to read between the lines with this. I mean,
in fact, he has, yeah.
You don't want to take players off the field, sure, but you have to. That's the nature of the game when they're tiring or they're not. The game script isn't right for them. So it's easy to say, and that's a confidence boost for a player that you believe in him that much. And I'm not knocking the guy as an upside, but his upside has climbed so much. If you were getting him 2 or 3 rounds earlier, then I think that's a fantastic place for him. You can see him shooting past his ADP, getting you those points you want. But at this ADP, do you really think he can climb to 160? Can he get you 1,100 yards, 6 to 8 touchdowns?
Do you know what he got last year? 842 yards and 7 touchdowns. So with Desean Jackson gone, I mean, he's only 23, 24, so...
Yeah.
Isn't he entitled to take a step forward? Or did he actually... I don't know how well he did with Fitzmagic compared to how well he did with Jameis Winston. That could be quite a good thing.
I think the truth of it is, though, Al, I mean, you've got to think, 50-odd ADP, I mean, that's a big price.
But, if he got 842 yards last year and 7 touchdowns...
Yeah, but he's still not getting you the 140.
Yeah, but he's entitled to take a step up on that, isn't he?
He might.
He only started 5 games, according to the...
He might.
That's a hell of a...
I mean, the biggest criticism is this, right? So this is the biggest criticism of it all. There are years in that offense with Winston where even Mike Evans doesn't get 5 or 6 touchdowns. There are also years where Mike Evans gets 10 or 12. He's that inconsistent, Jameis. He can't even hit the big man in the red zone. You're asking him to hit this guy? that he's going to be he's not really for me. He's not a red zone threat.
I mean, Winston can throw the yards, can't he?
He can, yeah. He's proved he can do it.
It's a kind of make or break year.
It's like Mariota. There's a real argument on those two quarterbacks, and in fact, actually, that's probably a video we should do is about Jameis Winston and Mariota.
Which one's worse?
Which one is going to make the step up, or are both going to foul?
Well, Derek Carr's another one as well.
Yeah, we can have a look at those.
Who out of the three do you think is good enough to make the step forward out of them?
I think Derek Carr.
Because Jameis Winston's going.
I think Derek Carr has the better weapons.
Jameis Winston's going the highest. He's QB 11.
I think Derek Carr got 4,000 yards last year, and that was without kind of improvement. So they've improved a lot of things for him. So why can't he take a step forward? Anyway, on this guy, I'm kind of like, I can't see where the uplift is. I think he's at the absolute top of the scene. It's 140 fantasy points. It's probably a safe play for 140. I mean, if you want safety, sure. But your fourth round, you're starting to get into those players.
I mean, he got 120 last year. I think he's very entitled to get 140 there.
Well, he could. I mean, I'm not knocking he can get 140, is what I've said. I think that is his uplift. 140 is the maximum.
59 catches. That's quite a lot for second-year players.
It's good. I think that's the ceiling. It's there. It's at that point, 140. He's not going to blow past it. There's nothing wrong with safe. There's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, he's only 23. He's got every right to improve.
It depends a little bit on the draft you've had previously. If you've already got some risk in your draft, he's probably a very good pick at that point in the draft. He's very safe. But I don't see them exploding past those. Because what you're trying to do when you're drafting, isn't it? Let's be honest, is you're trying to find a gem in every round that can blow past the numbers.
Well, let's just look.
Because every player that does that for you takes pressure off a mistake, doesn't it? Yeah. So let me just put this another way for people listening.
Let me give you some options then.
Okay.
Because ADP, because it's all about value compared to the other players in that range.
Okay.
So we've got just below him Chris Carson.
I like Chris Carson because I think, although he is coming back from an injury, so there is a risk with him. But I do like what he showed.
Kenyon Drake.
Can't stand that player. Can't
Bit
stand.
harsh.
Yeah, can't.
Alshon Jeffrey.
No, never touching him.
DJ Moore.
No.
Alan Robinson.
No.
Well, so which one? You got to draft somebody. You can't skip the round.
Give me the names again. The top one.
Calvin Ridley's below those.
I'd take Calvin Ridley.
Out of all those.
All of those, yeah. That doesn't even worry me. There's more there for him. I see more upside. I see him taking over the job. I could see that.
Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, I like Robbie Anderson. I think
he'd be good. You take him over Godwin.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Even though he's 11 spaces below him.
I don't care about the ADP with spaces. It's about what the player could do. Anderson has more route to more points, not route to less. You see,
Robbie Anderson's a wide receiver one, isn't he? On their team.
Here's the problem with this. What you're trying to do in every round, that's what I was trying to say, is if I pick a first round player, we'll use standard because it's a great measure, really. I want my player in standard first round to get me 200. My second round player must get 180. If I get these things right, I know when you add it all together, adding in, depending on the league format, we'll just go with the standard format when you add your defence, your kicker, general scoring, you're looking at about 1,200, 1,250 points. That will get you in the playoffs most of the time. Occasionally, there'll be the odd situation that doesn't, but that's purely schedule and bad luck. But if you're hitting that 1,250, 1,300 points in standard scoring, you will be a playoff team. Now, every time any of these picks, particularly high up the order, you get it wrong, every time you get it wrong, even by a little bit, means that someone else has to pick up the slack. And the more, 20 points is a big deal in fantasy. 140 is about the maximum for that guy to lift up to me.
I think it's very interesting that there's some of these similar players that you like and some that you don't. So you weren't a fan of DJ Moore particularly. You weren't a fan of Chris Godwin, but you do like Mike Williams.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
You like Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, well, the Calvin Ridley 13 games in a stadium can do it.
These are all sort of similar players.
Yeah, but Mike Williams is a redstone beast. So you're in a high-octane offense where you've got a
quarterback. Got 7 touchdowns.
You're with a quarterback that can get you 30 touchdowns, and he'll get his share. So why wouldn't Mike be a good bet? And with Terrell gone, that's excellent. If you look at Calvin Ridley, you're playing opposite Julio Jones. I could see the handing over the baton, not like immediately, but as the season wears along, you could see the emerging. He's already emerging, but emerging star of a player, and games where the script is flipped a bit, and Julio, it doesn't necessarily drop down because he's an elite player, but you could see Calvin Ridley being like everybody going, "Wow, what a combination these guys have got, particularly in a dome." I mean,
these are the sort of decisions that us as fantasy players have got to make.
But
every year.
He's got no room to grow much more than the 140 he's being drafted at. I don't see where the growth is going to come from.
I think that's a bit harsh.
He's going to have to do a lot to get above it. 160 is a big ask. I mean, you're then you're then in the range of 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. That's a big ask for what? For Jameis
Well, it's
Winston?
only 3 extra touchdowns.
It doesn't sound a lot, but if you get a drop in yards, that's possibly another touchdown you've got to find, even with 50 yards lost. It can quickly mount up. That's why it's never simple. I mean, he's become a fantasy darling. He's flown up the ADP
I mean,
charts.
you think the game script, because, they're not a great running
Where's
team.
the running
Oh,
game?
Bruce Arians, though.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians compared to, the head coach from last year.
I like the coach, but, it's very hard to come in to just...
Look at Arizona since he left.
Yeah, it's really hard to come in and turn it completely around.
But isn't he that sort of infectious guy that might be able to do that?
I like him as a coach, but the knock would be the big ones, the big games. But I'm not worried about that as fantasy, so you're only worried about the season. But I just think I can't see where the uplift is at this stage with him and Jameis. I just don't see the uplift. I'm sorry. You got OJ Howard will take a big step forward. His ADP is probably about bang on for
Better
OJ Howard.
coaching, Desean Jackson gone, a year older, third year in the system. Every chance to take a step forward.
Well, you have to build chemistry, and I'm going to be honest again and say, you look at
Winston loves him.
pre-season, you work out with players, then go into the game, and let's see how that plays out. I mean, 140 is for me the max. He's a safe play. Like if I'm picking a player for safety at that point in my draft, perhaps I've taken a risk high up. Sure, 140 I'm looking for. If he gives me that or close to it, I'm a happy person because it's safe.
Right, let me see if I can get a game.
I'm not thinking he can get me more than the 140. I'm not saying he's going to get me less, but I reckon that's about right.
Let me just get his game log up, because
Okay.
obviously he played early season with Magic, and then
Yeah,
he
that'll
played
help.
with James.
That'll always help when Fitz is on a purple patch.
Right. Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
He got in the first 6 weeks. Well, week 5 is a bye week, so in the first 5 games, he got 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
With Fitzmagic playing.
He was in an absolute purple patch, if you remember at the time.
And then he only scored 1 with Jameis Winston, and his numbers dropped off.
Significantly.
Yeah.
140.
He had a big week 13. He had 101 yards and a touchdown.
And that's a great week, but it's 1 week out of many. Look, my point is simply this. He's become a fantasy darling.
And he scored 2 week 17, so he did start to pick up with James towards the end.
Yeah, but he's no longer there now. Oh, he is there, sorry. Well, I'm saying he's no longer there. He is there, but my point...
Two touchdowns and 114
My
yards.
point is that he's become a fantasy darling because at the time that people were talking about him, his value was fair. Now that his value is at the top point of the drafting pick, I can't do that. I can do it for safety. So if I'm looking for 140 points, I think he's about as safe as you're going to get at that point because there are a lot of risk in that round.
Yeah,
There's a lot of risk.
300-yard receiving games.
Yeah.
So, there's definitely a chance that he can do these big games. 2 touchdowns in the last
The
one.
bigger question might be to actually, and this might be worth it for people watching, could you possibly bring up Jameis Winston's, not script as such, but his overall finish for the season? And I'm not saying
Yeah,
this
but
is...
he missed games. Didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not saying this is a fair comparison at all. I'm not using that for this purpose. I'm just trying to give an illustration of, what he kind of did when he played rather than, when he wasn't playing, just so we can sort of put it into context a little bit.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, Fitzpatrick started the year and he got a touchdown nearly every week.
And the question is this:
and he got 3 with Jameis Winston.
Why?
But 2 were in the last week.
Why did Fitz Magic start?
What do you mean? Because Jameis was wobbling, wasn't
Yeah, and did he massively take a step
he?
forward?
To be
towards
fair
that?
to Fitzmagic, he played lights out football the first 5 weeks.
He did, yeah.
And then, he did
Died.
what Fitzmagic did. And
Dies. There's a game where he just can't.
turns into Fitzmagic and his head goes. And,
And then it just you think that's why you're a perennial bench warmer. You're perfect coming off the bench. In fact, you'd almost want him to come into a bad team in a playoff run, wouldn't you?
Well, isn't he? He's with Miami now. I mean, they're a bad team.
He'll get a chance to play. There's no doubt about
Who do you
that.
think will start out of him and Rosen out of interest?
I think it'll be him.
He always seems to get a job starting, doesn't
He'll
he?
start and they'll do well for the first few
you
weeks.
gotta love Fitzmagic.
But anyway, long story short, looking at the logic, 140 is the maximum. Sorry,
Okay.
that's
I
as
think
far.
you're being very
That
harsh.
that's as far
standard,
as safe as it's going to get. It's a safe pick, right? It's not a bad pick.
I
It's
think he
perfectly
shows
safe.
glimpses of breakout potential.
Perfectly safe pick, 140. Happy to take it because at that point of the draft, we've already seen a lot of players we've illustrated are risky. There's some risk there, so he's safe, and that's not a bad pick. It's just I don't think there's a.
But I think that 140 is his floor.
No, I think that's the top end. I don't see him going past that.
That'd be interesting.
I don't see him going past 140. I really don't. I think the reason is the quarterback play could well hold him back, and also as well, one wobble. It's not going to take much for the quarterback coaching staff and various other people to, imagine they start poorly. Who are they going to get on? Who's going to be the person?
If they start poorly, you've got to throw it, haven't they?
Yeah, but who are they going to get behind? Do you think he could be replaced again?
Who?
Jameis.
Well, who with?
Well,
there's no Fitzmagic anymore.
There's players out there they could pull in, bring in.
There isn't, though, is there? That's a problem. Unless they get Matt Glennon back.
Or another injured player, maybe out of the ether that they bring back to the team. I'm very, very concerned.
Brett Favre's coming out of retirement.
I mean, are you prepared to make another bet? I like this player profile videos. Gives us a chance to have a bet. Do you think that he can exceed 140? There's an interesting bet. I don't think he does.
Yeah, I think one. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So 140 fantasy points in standard, assuming he plays.
What did he get last year? I think he'll exceed that.
Well, he had 800 odd yards, and you said 7 touchdowns, so round about 110 roughly. A bit more, maybe 120. So he's got to exceed it by about 20 points.
Proper yardage.
He's got to get 140.
So he didn't get 140 last year, so it's a bit harsh to hold me to those standards.
You just said he could do it. You could blow past
it. But I want to get
you want to blow past that 140. Now suddenly, it's a bit hard to hold him to that. That was
he got 800 yards and 7 touchdowns.
So that's 36.
84 and 42. So
about 110.
126 or something.
It's not bad.
So I'll do 130. That seems fair. You said that's his.
I said
you got to stand by
140 is what
he
can
had a
get.
Fumble as well, so that's even less. But you're getting a bargain. You're getting a bargain.
He had a fumble, therefore that's going to come off the point.
They come off your points, don't they?
Yeah, do, yeah. But then you'll have to add in at least that he should be able to miss at least a couple of games through to injury. That you believe in him that much.
No, well, I'm not.
Look at it, everything's skewed in his favour.
No, I'm not. That's what I say. I'm not doing that.
He's not going to get 140. That's all I'm going to bet on him.
He's 130.
No, it's there or thereabouts.
He's never got 130 before.
Yeah, it's there or thereabouts. But he's got to get above his ADP. That means he must exceed 140. Why would I want to pick him in that round to get 130? I'm picking him there to get 140.
You're not picking him. That's the point. You don't think he can get it.
Well, I don't think. I think
you're saying he can't.
I think it's on the borderline. Yeah, I think 140 is the.
He's fitting at 135.
Okay, 135. It's a gentleman's deal. Okay, we got another forfeit then. So I say it is close. It will be very, very
Godwin,
close.
135 plus.
And Al wants him to start every single game. The odds are he won't start every single game. He'll probably get injured, and this bet will be another null and void.
He started 5 games last year, according to this.
Yeah, it'll be another null and void.
He's going to eat your 135 for breakfast.
What, in the first game?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be an amazing performance if he did that in the first game. That'd be
not in the first game, obviously.
But... We'll see how he does with Jameis. See how he fares with that kind of chemistry.
Well, I'm blaming Jameis if he doesn't.
Well, of course, everybody blames Jameis if he doesn't. Maybe you want to come back and watch a video all about these risky quarterbacks.
Anyway, Jameis, QB11. Deal or no deal?
No deal.
Okay. All right.
No
135,
deal.
Chris Godwin is standard. Are you on my side or are you on Sean's side?
I won't get many takers, I don't think. I think he's a fantasy darling. I think more people will be on your side on that one. But I'm okay with that because I think we see how it plays out. I think the ceiling is the 140 max. That's it. And that's all. It's a safe pick. It's there's nothing wrong with it at that point, but it's just so safe.
You don't see any upside.
I see no upside to it. It's just a very, very safe pick.
But,
again, we find out. We find out.
Again, crucify Sean in the comments. That's what it's there for.
That's what it's there for, yeah.
If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you like the series.
If you want to crucify Al, don't be afraid. And personally message me. That's always nice when I hear messages. So it's always good. Maybe I'll share some of those.
Message Sean, you're a Muppet. That's a message you need to be sending.
Hashtag Muppet.
Hashtag Muppet. Okay, hashtag Muppet in the comments, right?
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.